Hi, this is Psalm 126, and there's lots of positive stuff in this psalm, but let's look at it and see. It's just 6 verses long, so we can look at the whole thing. When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dream. Then our mouth was filled with laughter, and our tongue with shouts of joy. Then they said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us. We are glad. So you've got lots of references here to shouts of joy and laughter, even the word dream there. There's celebration. When God restored the fortunes, we celebrated, we partied, we praised God for what he's done. The others, everyone else watching among the nations, seeing what God had done, recognized it. The Lord has done great things, and then they agree he has done great things for us. This could be referring to coming back from exile, if this is a later psalm, or some other deliverance of God. The exile one does seem to fit here. And so there's this celebration for the first 3 verses, and then there's kind of a pondering recognition, kind of a request in the second half. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like streams in the Negev, which is the south. Those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. He who goes out weeping, bearing the seed for sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing his sheaves with him. So it's a picture, kind of an agricultural image that's being used here, but there's still the anticipation of the shouts of joy coming through. So what's the request? Well, maybe the people have returned to the land and they're celebrating, but there are others that haven't come back, and the sort of the smallness of the return is causing them to cry out to God to say, Lord, do for them what you've done for us. Maybe it's something like that. But there's also a kind of pattern here, a recognition that with harvesting and farming, there's the suffering first. And if you're diligent kind of in the suffering to continue sowing in the midst of all sorts of challenges and difficulties, there is that confidence of the harvest to come. You go out weeping to sow in tears, but you come home reaping with shouts of joy, bringing sheaves, abundant harvest. I wonder if there's a kind of a progression here that applies to us. We can thank God for what he's done for us. Right, we can celebrate. We should, of all people, we should be the most joyful, partying and celebrating because of his goodness for us. But then there's a recognition that others still need him. And so that agricultural imagery, of course, gets picked up in the New Testament, whether it's referring to this psalm or not. It's still used quite a bit, isn't it? Lift up your eyes, look to the fields. The fields are white for harvest. There are so many more people that still need to know the deliverance and the salvation of God. And so even as we reach out to them, even as we go through suffering for the sake of the ministry that we're called to, if you like, there's confidence that there is suffering now, but harvest, celebration later. And so let's be people that celebrate what God has done for us, and let's be people that look to God to multiply that celebration as others are brought to celebrate and appreciate his goodness too. It was true for Israel after the exile. It's true for us after all Christ has done for us. Psalm 126. Something to ponder, isn't it? We of all people should be most joyful.